Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me here. We are continuing with the Granny Square Quilt, working on some of these fun borders. We have one more to go. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So again, tonight we are making another border. I don't think we'll get it all done, but we'll get a good start on it, and then tomorrow we'll finish up our last of the 4 borders. This is the 3rd one that we finished up last night. They are looking amazing. They all start with these little itty bitty pieces like this. So we're going to be sewing 44 of these together today to get our border. And then we'll be back to the blocks. We aren't actually done with the blocks yet for this. We just jumped ahead to the border because it was fun. So thanks for joining me here. Let's get going, guys. All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday here, guys. All right, so we finished up another one of these borders last night. I think they turned out so pretty. And we have our last one to go, so I'm going to just add this feller to our stack, our other 2 borders here. So they're all the same length. Again, this is the pattern that we're working on. It's from allpeoplequilt.com. I do have a direct link underneath here for you guys if you wanted to grab the pattern. We're doing, wherever it's this dark brown, that's my kind of this light kind of aqua teal color. So that's kind of the scheme. Let me show you. Here's what it should look like when we're done. So we're working on these 4 borders here. That really decorative kind of border. I've never done a border this decorative before, so this is kind of a fun experience for me. We got one left, so let's get going on that. Oh, and I have hiding underneath here, you guys. Remember the embroidery of the month this month are our 2 sewing machines, the Vintage Sew. This one is a portrait of my sewing machine here, and then this is more of your general kind of like Singer, your like more curvy vintage sewing machine than the steampunky, very angular machine that I got here. So if you wanted to grab bundles of those are available at penguinandfish.com right now. So thanks again, guys. Let's get sewing. I'm going to just set those aside. Let's get our stack. We do have our little corner. We put this on when we're done with the rest of them, so that'll go to the side. So we're going to just start out the same way. I'm going to start 4 sections. And I think an error that I've been making, why some of my seams aren't matching when I put the whole thing together, is that I'm not starting my seam allowances in the same direction. I'm just grabbing. So I'm going to start 4 pieces, and I'm going to start them all with the seam allowances going down. And I'm hoping that will make my whole thing consistent when I'm done. So I really just need to sew 44 of these together. So I could just take one and keep sewing pieces on. However, how we've been doing this so far is just by taking a group of 4 and just adding on to each of these 4 until they equal 11. And then I take all of them off and I sew those 4 11s together to get 44. And I think that's been working okay, so I'm going to continue with that. So here's going to be the start of the 4 groupings. I'm going to put a clip on the first one in the group, so when I go through the machine, because I'm going one after the other through the machine, then I'll always remember what the first one is so we can kind of keep a count, make sure that they're all getting up to 11. Because I am not positive that I cut the exact amount that I need, so I don't want to go over, and I don't want to be under either, obviously. So I don't know how many of these I have for sure, so instead I'm doing the count as I sew. All right, let's get going, guys. All right, at the machine, I'm hoping it works a little bit better tonight, but we'll just see. It's going to be what it's going to be, I think. All right, so our seam allowances are going down, so the ones that we sew next to it have to go up. We are doing opposite seam allowances so they can kind of hook together. All right, so we're not sewing them right next to each other. We're shifting the next one up a level, so we got this kind of stair-steppy going. So this is actually our first seam that we have to match. I'm going to fold that over. Let's match that seam. And I'm going to lock that in place with another clip. That's been easy, I think, just having it sit in place there. Oh, and this kind of got moved around quite a bit last night. Let's just see if we can get it to stay a little bit better. My little guide here. All right, I'm going to put the clip up top. All right, let's get sewing, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Ooh, it started right away. Good sign. There, it's not going again. I think I like this kind of back further, just because then I have the ability to have room for the clips. Oh, but see, I keep pivoting it. It's not, I took it off when I cleaned, and it's just not exactly right anymore. Let's put it down here. Maybe it was just because I'm on an uneven surface here. Maybe now it'll be fine. All right, there's our first seam. I'm going to lock the second seams together. Just feeling for those folds. I did wipe down with just a paper towel. I wiped down the motor pulley. That's that small wheel that's this big, and then it moves. It's connected to the motor, and it moves the larger wheel. Like the small wheel moving the larger wheel around, and that's kind of what makes this whole thing run. I did wipe it off this evening before coming on here because I think one of the problems was I had just oiled it, and I must have just had oil on my hands and touched it or something. I think I must have got some sort of oil on there just because it wasn't gripping, so I think it was just extra slippery. That's what I'm going with. It seems to be working a whole lot better already from me just wiping it down with a paper towel. Oh, see, this is not working as nicely. So we'll see how it goes tonight. Oh, I was looking over the comments last night, and someone asked if I was using a scant 1/4 inch or a full 1/4 inch seam allowance. So what that means is the distance between the needle and the edge, my fabric edge, that's the seam allowance. Typically with quilting, down and up, there we go. Typically with quilting, you use a scant 1/4 inch. And what that means is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So measuring from there to there should be a 1/4 inch, but actually just a hair, like a literal hair, less than like a 32nd of an inch, like just a literal hair less than a 1/4 inch. It's kind of basically the thickness of 2 pieces of fabric. That's kind of what you're subtracting from the edge. So that makes a difference when you're sewing a lot of little pieces together over a distance, because those little hairs, if you're not exactly on that exact perfect seam allowance, they can add up or they can subtract depending on how much bigger or how much smaller you're like accidentally making your seams. So that's why I'm always trying to work on getting a better 1/4 inch seam allowance, or scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, I should say. So for mine, just from measuring before, I think it's just like a 1/16 of an inch or so past the edge of this particular foot. So that's kind of what I've been going on. That's kind of what I have this measured at, but it keeps moving. This business card is just so I can easily bump up my, it's got a little ridge, like, because it's a thick postcard, you can bump up the fabric against it and get that right measurement. I don't know how well it's working. But yeah, so I'm always doing a scant 1/4 inch. So sometimes I'll just say a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but I really mean a scant quarter. And I'm not especially doing a great job at that either. So, I mean, if it does look like I'm doing a big seam allowance and you're like, well, I thought we were supposed to do a scant 1/4 inch, it is. I just am not doing a good job at it in that moment. So it's getting a little bit big, and sometimes it'll get a little bit small. I'm stopping to nest the next seams together. I'm just trying to get those two bumps from folding the fabric to like meet up. You can actually physically feel them meet up. That's what's going to give us a good matching of the seams. All right, that was the first round here. Ooh, I need a scissors. Here we go. Oh, it's hiding back here. Well, now I got 2 scissors. My little leader. I think that one's done. Yep. Okay, so let's snip these off the machine and we'll start round 2. Oh, I should still keep them in the same order though. So that one was, now we should be like, our seam should be up, not down. Okay. Let's grab the next one. So seam allowances are up now, so these ones should go down. And we're still shifting upward. I'm not going to press any of these until the whole thing is sewn together. Oh, but by matching the seams, I mean, there we go, like that this seam goes right across there. It just looks like a straight line. That's what we're going for. Versus like here, I didn't do as good of a job. It's got a little stair step in. What we're going for is to go straight across like that, and nesting these seams, like putting these folds next to each other, should be helping us do that, but, you know, not getting it right all the time. Oh, Becky says my like 1/4 inch seam allowance improved a lot after I got a 1/4 inch foot for my machine. Yeah, I should actually start digging into different feet for this machine. So I'm sure they exist. That should be like an eBay search I should start doing that for this. This is the only one that came with the machine. You know, I obviously got this used, and this is the one that came with it. I think it's a bit shy of a 1/4 inch. It's probably actually considered a 1/4 inch foot, but I do think it's just a hair shy of that. So I would love to find some more feet for this. I mean, it doesn't do zigzag or anything like that. It just is a straight, it just only goes straight in this machine. But I think there's still opportunity for, like, you know, like a hemming foot or something like that would be kind of fun to find. Okay, up, down, shoop. They all need a sound effect. Zoop. That's the shift up sound effect. Oh god, the machine is working so much better than last night. That makes me so happy. It just did not want to, the wheels did not want to grab. So now I can get my stiletto out, which I feel like helps me. I think it's just like a little safety net for me. It's kind of like I treat my stiletto here as like an extra finger that's skinny and pointy, so and a pin, so I can match my little seams up here, then I can just poke it right there to kind of hold them in place as I get real close. So that's kind of the main thing I'm doing with my stiletto. I like having it around. Okay, up, down. When I say up, down, I'm just looking at the seam allowances. So the one that I have here is going up, so that means this one's got to go down, and then zoop, shift upward. So if you're starting with this border, I think this would be a little bit confusing, like everything that we're doing. Like I'm matching seams, they're these little itty bitty pieces, you know, we're shifting up. It's kind of a lot of stuff. But if you worked on the blocks, you're kind of doing this with the blocks, but not as intensely, I suppose. So doing the blocks first kind of was a warm-up for this border, I think. All right, last one of this round. Oh, there's some of these. These all look like they match up a whole lot better. It just looks like one line going right across. That's what we're going for. No little stair steppers. Okay, up, down, shift. I'm gonna pretend my machine is happy again, though, that it got some oil, got a new needle, got cleaned up, and holy cow, was there fuzz stuck underneath here. I unscrewed the plate here, and it was all blue fuzz too, so I know it was from this project. A pile of like teal fuzz. Actually, I suppose we have kind of a lot of gray and blues in the Aurifil block of the month, but I suspect it's mostly from this project. All right, that round's done. Let's snip them off here. Kind of trying to keep them in the same direction, because I think it was just the flipping them around, like flipping them this way and that way, that made it not kind of match up for me the past few times. All right, just grabbing from my stack right here. I'm just taking them from the top. I think I've kind of mixed these up already. Right now we're going down, and this one has to go up. This is the fourth one. Stiletto in here again. I think I just feel more comfortable holding it. Oh, the first round of the embroidery of the months are going out in tomorrow morning's mail, so if you ordered the embroidery of the month already, it should it's going to be headed your way soon. So you should have them in a couple of days. I'm hoping the mail kind of worked itself out a little bit after the holidays. I'm hoping it's not so crazy like how it's been for the mail. So I'm hoping no one's package gets lost and they'll get it in a couple days like normal, and we'll be back at it. That's the hope, at least. Down, up, shift. It's the down, up, shift dance again tonight. Oh, my mom, Becky's asking about my mom's quilt. I'm assuming you're asking about this quilt. Not that I said something and I forgot what I said already, but her quilt looks amazing. Last time we were there, I showed how far she was. So she didn't. Her borders are sewn, but last time I was there, which was, when did we go there? Before Christmas, like a week or two before Christmas, maybe. I don't know. But she had made the borders, so she was farther than me. She had all 4 borders done, but she hadn't had them attached yet. However, all her stashing was done and her first little, skinny border. So, so it definitely looked like a quilt. I gotta hold it up a little bit, and oops, I think this one goes this way. Yes, we started down, up, down. Yeah, and it just looks awesome. I'm excited for her quilt for sure. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe she has her borders sewn on by now. That'd be kind of cool. So knowing that I can't visit more often, we were planning this summer, this past summer and stuff, to just visit a ton, and that just did not, happen. Because of the current state of the state, so I would have liked to work on a project together or something. Luckily, we got the koala quilt done together just before, well, just before knowingly all that stuff, all the COVID stuff started. Up, down. I think we're just starting to hear about it then. Uh-oh, is this the next round? I think this is the next round and I didn't put it on anything. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. I gotta get my little marker on here. That's what I was hoping to avoid, that I'd get all confused. Alright, I think when I sew the first one on, I better snip that last one off right away. So I don't confuse myself. Up, down, shift. This, unfortunately, I'm a little bummed. This, unfortunately, isn't easy to read your comments and match these seams and sew at the same time. So I'm excited for our embroidery project, the embroidery of the month, in 2 weeks when we stitch that. Because I can do a lot of reading comments during embroidery, but this is tough. So I feel like I'm missing your conversation, which is a bummer. Makes me sad. Oh, Becky, that's great news. Becky says my parents, who are 80, both got their first COVID vaccine shots. That's awesome. Yeah, I should check home about that and see what the state of the state. How does anyone even get notified about any of that? I mean, I'm sure I'm freaking low on this list, but I don't know. How do you even know? Do you just, I don't know, keep calling? Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. So if anyone's gotten their vaccine who's not a healthcare worker, where did you go? How do you even get it? You think that'd be something you'd be told, right? Or that the public would be told how to figure out how to get that done. We don't have a primary care doctor or anything right now either. So that's a fun thing about being self-employed is we have to look up health insurance each year, and we have to switch health insurance almost every year, and then we don't always have the same doctors anymore. Linda's asking, does anyone know of a great paper piecing pattern book? If anyone knows, let me know too, and I'll mention it. But I just saying foundation paper piecing, I'm like, that got me itching to do another foundation paper piece. I wonder, we're going to be working on the Splendid Sampler 2 book again next week. I don't remember where we left off in there, like if we are in the middle of a block or something, but maybe we could search out a foundation paper pieced one. I'm sure there's more in there, but that would be kind of fun to go through that process again. Oh, interesting. Sylvia says, a small community, like approximately 400, the clinic just puts up a poster at the post office. Oh, geez, interesting. An email. Did I just not put it on again? Grrr! Keep forgetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this one should be 5. Yeah, 5. Okay, so this is my first one. Sheesh. I don't want to keep counting. Once it gets higher than 6, then it'll take longer to count. Down, up, shift. Oh, they're retired Army, so the Army hospital tells them. Oh, interesting. Okay, for the rest of us, we go to our state website. Oh, they show grocers and pharmacies who will be doing the shots. Ah, and then we call direct. Okay, thanks, Becky. I will look that up. I guess I just haven't paid attention because I figure I'm so low on the list that, I'll look up how to do it at some point. But now I'm curious now that people are actually getting them. Well, that seam allowance flipped around a little bit and I didn't stop in time to fix it. Oh well. it definitely feels nice to sew again, though. It's been a while. Like, I didn't sew over the holidays like I kind of wanted to. I just didn't. But this is relaxing. Like, I'm feeling like just like, oh, this is nice to just sew these guys together. And now I'm like, man, maybe I should have done some sewing over the holidays just to chill out a little bit. This is making me just feel relaxed, which is nice. Ooh, come on. There we go. Round 7, up, down, shift. All right, let's move that clip. Ooh, that was a wide seam allowance, so well. Up, down. Okay, Linda says, as a senior myself, I'm waiting to hear from my health insurance provider. Oh, yeah, health insurance might just tell us, huh? Interesting. That makes sense. So I suppose I just wait for a letter. I'll check I'll check Minnesota's policy too, just because I'm curious what they even say. I'll Google it for Minnesota. John's aunt, though, got her first vaccine. That was the aunt who works at the hospital here that we made all the face masks for. Just right at the start of COVID, we made all those face masks. She got her first vaccine shot, so that's pretty cool. Up, down. Ugh, it's getting all mad at me again. There we go. I think it just gets on a spot. I might just need to shift the motor pulley wheel, just shift it a little bit because it kind of wears away. Just, you know, it's rubber and it's just going around and around and hitting the same spot. So it might be time to, I can kind of shift it left and right just a hair. That might help be on a higher part of the wheel again. Although I don't know if that's a good or bad thing to do. Up, down, shift. Oh, Sylvia says that my doctor cousin got her vaccine. Nice. Ooh, Gretchen says she got her second shingles vaccination today. Oof, man. That's good, yeah. Stay away from that. think that's a lap again. I feel like I do this different every time. Maybe, I mean, it's getting bulkier. Like, you know, we got a lot of guys here, so it gets kind of weirder to put together. Wait, there we go. All right, where are we at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th round, so we're going to 11. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll get completely to 11 today. I think we'll probably finish this up tomorrow. Oh, whoops, I need to shift up. Down, up, shift. I almost forgot to shift. That would require a seam ripper. We'd probably realize it right. Right, you guys would probably be screaming at me, you didn't shift up, and I wouldn't be able to see it, and then at the end I'd be like, whoops, oops. Ooh, my stack's getting awfully small, though. That's kind of exciting. Just took a look at that just now. Down, up. Ugh. It's going to feel good to have a next little part of this done. Once I get about this far, it starts, the point of the edge of my machine is down here, and I feel like the seams start getting stuck on that part too, so that's why they kind of shift this way every once in a while. It's because I'm stuck on the corner. Down, up, shift. Oh wow, Sally, yay! Sally's mom got the vaccine today too. Awesome. Oh, Sally says Colorado started for seniors. So this doesn't actually have a belt, Patty. That's what's so interesting about this machine. It doesn't have a belt. So it just has a small wheel connected to a motor, and that small wheel is directly touching the larger, the big sewing machine, wheel that, I don't know, I suppose it has a real name, the big wheel. Instead of having it connected by a belt, instead of having the wheel here and then the big wheel here and connected by a belt, they're actually touching. So the small wheel turns the larger wheel. And what's happening, I don't know why it's happening, but what's happening is the small wheel is just not gripping onto the big one. What I really should do, and I think this is a suggestion of someone's, I should find, I should get a little rubber band and put it on the rubber wheel and see if that rubber band or silicone band grips onto the larger wheel a little bit better. It's just sliding around a little bit. I thought it was because I oiled my machine yesterday and I maybe got some oil on it to make it slippery, but it's literally just sliding against the wheel instead of gripping the wheel. But it's just rubber against smooth metal, so it's not really much, to grip on, so I'm surprised it's doing anything as far as gripping. Oh, a hand wheel. Okay, there we go. Colleen says the hand wheel is the big wheel name. That sounds good. I'm going to go with that. So Gretchen, I have tried putting some grit on the rubber wheel, and that's how I did it in the past. But I think that was maybe the wrong way to go, because I got a new wheel, and that worked great without putting any of the grit on. So I'm thinking that might not be the best way to do it. You do have to replace those rubber wheels, the motor pulleys is what they're called, but those small wheels, because they do wear down. Like, they start bigger and they get smaller and smaller as you use them. But I feel like I just kind of replaced it not long ago. I suppose I don't know really how long they last. I still think it just got maybe oily, or I just need to, I don't know. Mystery of the motor pulley. Oh, Nolene says the grit would wear it down. You need to make the wheel bigger. So that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, maybe it is too old, and if I got a new one, it would be a little bit bigger. Maybe that's the deal. It seems weird that it would just kind of start after, oiling the machine and stuff. But I need to. I don't know. I probably can. I don't think I have any, but like, I can probably buy like a really small silicone rubber band or something. I mean, it's kind of like those silicone hair ties or something. I could probably just get some from Target. Well, I'm almost out of my my Séché Vite nail polish quick dry, and that's going to be a necessity coming up here. So I should add some little like hair ties to that trip or that order. That seems like a purchase from the same place. So I think I should give that a try. There's no hot light shining on it, Lenore. Lenore's asking if there's a hot light, it might be drying out the rubber. I mean, that's interesting because there's no hot light on it. However, it is so dry in here. Just this winter, it just gets so dry. So I don't know. Maybe the dryness does affect that. I don't know. But I keep bumping the phone here too. I'm just trying to nudge the wheel, the hand wheel, because if I nudge that forward, then it seems to start. It's just that initial friction of like getting it going. Once it's going, it seems to be running just fine. Like that wheel just needs to get started. It's just the starting up that it just spins and can't get a grip. So yeah, I like the idea of like a silicone something or another. I just don't have anything like that on hand. Up, down. Oops, did I go too far with that? There we go. I should have a humidifier going in here, that's true. I think back when I first got this, I had it looked at by a repair person, but I don't know. I'm not real wild about my typical repair place that I've been bringing the machines to. They got bought out, and I don't know. It's just so weird going in there. So I'm kind of been trying to do stuff by myself or figure it out or clean things, but yeah, I don't know. I need to be a lookout for a new repair person, because I still might actually need a repair person for my other machine to get those feed dogs to stay where I want them to be. Still haven't fixed that yet. I think that was I think that was on my agenda for the holidays too, and that didn't happen either. Oh, Maru's asking my quilting plans for, my project plans, my quilting plans for 2021. I mean, right now, it's to finish up these things that we're doing. So, we have the Granny Squares Quilt still, that's what we're doing now, and that'll be some time before we're done with that. Same with the Splendid Sampler 2. I don't want to abandon either of these projects because I want them done. I'm hoping we do a pile more embroidery, and I am going to leave that last week open every week for if we want to try out some other like small projects to play around with. Or if we want to spend time finishing up a project. But I do think that that fourth week, where we were working on the Aurifil block of the month, I'm hoping that I mean, we're not done with that project either, but I'm hoping that week, the fourth week, can be more for like some small projects, like some fun things. Like if we decide, hey, let's spend the day learning how to paper piece or something like that. We can do like just small projects, or like let's make a tote bag or things like that. So I'm totally up for suggestions for that. And also just to finish up projects too. Just to have it be more of we'll go with our gut sort of week. Like and that's kind of how I like crafting as well. I do like the idea of getting projects done, so I like that we've dedicated some weeks to get these projects done. Oops, I don't think I put the clip on this one again. I do like that we're spending time getting these projects done. But, there's always the thrill of starting something new, or you find out about a new technique or a new type of craft, and then you just gotta try it. You don't want to wait, you just want to give it a go. So I want that last week to kind of be open for flexibility like that. And yes, we still do have the Aurifil block of the month. We finished the blocks, but we don't have a finished quilt or anything yet, so we'll have to decide, how we want to finish that up. Like if we should cut some sashing together, or sew some sashing onto it. I think we just want to keep it simple. I'd kind of rather just get it done than get super advanced with it. Although I would like it to at least be a lap quilt size, and right now it's got kind of a ways to go before it's that. So maybe we do make even like a little bit bigger sashing in the middle. Could throw some cornerstones in there too, I suppose. I don't know, and I'm getting fancy. I don't know, we'll have to figure that out. Maybe we can sketch something out together. That'd be kind of fun for that. Down, up. But yeah, so I'd like to get that project done too. I suspect that there will be a lot of machine quilting next year, or this year, I suppose, because on the realm of finishing projects up, I still have the I Love Home quilt that needs to be quilted. It's actually already sandwiched and pinned together. It just needs to be quilted. And same with the Triangle Tango quilt from back when too. That one's all sandwiched and ready to go. Literally all it needs is to be put on a machine and started to machine quilt. So I would love to have like a week of machine quilting too. See if we can get some of those projects along too. I'm definitely been in the finish all the things mood still. That doesn't mean I'm not in the mood to start stuff though too. I always think that us working on the embroidery of the month, the third week of the month, is always kind of a nice palette cleanser from these big projects that, you know, take a ton of time. Just throwing in a tiny project in there. That's how I keep my interest in these larger projects, by doing a little bit of a smaller project. Wow, we really don't have much here. I should probably count. We just finished that round. I should probably see what we have left on these things before I, you know, like I said, I don't know if I have too many of those pieces cut. I mean, we might be at 11 right now. Let's check. This assumes that I've been marking them correctly too. So it's getting longer here, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, this is our last one. Wow, we have a lot more pieces then. So I'm gonna have to double check all of these probably. So I'll just double check all of them before I start. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. So in theory, this is the last one of this section. Ooh, I'm glad I checked. That would have been annoying to have sewn 12 on. Oop, that one doesn't match. Or that one, the colors, same colors were lining up. Okay, shift. Okay, so this is 11. So this is the last one for this one, and I'll just double check the other 3 as I go here. In theory, since I've been marking this one as the first one, in theory all the other ones should be at the same spot as this one, but I might have messed up. We'll see. I think what we'll probably do is I'll probably sew them all together tomorrow, and we'll do all the pressing and all of that tomorrow as well, and see where we're at. Maybe make a block too. We could start another block. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. This one's correct as well. This will be the last one. Up, down, shift. Yeah, I bet you if I can find a little silicone ring for this, I could extend the length of the motor pulley for sure. Or the age of it, the wear of it. Up, down, shift. Oh. Did I count this one? I don't think I counted. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, we're fine. I'm sure these all are fine, but you know, I get paranoid. This is the last one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Great. Ooh, we are gonna have 4. I think we'll have 4 pieces left. Up, down. Glad I counted. Ugh, I hope I didn't forget 4 pieces on a different part of the border. I doubt it. They're probably just like, I probably just had room at the end of the row of the strips that I was cutting. So I probably just threw them in here. I don't know, unless I need them later. We'll see. I'll save them. Alright, I'm going to take this off the machine and we'll see what we got and we'll finish that up tomorrow. We'll finish this border tomorrow. Ooh, yay, that's exciting. It's like we're sneaking ahead a little bit because we're not quite done with all the blocks, but it'll feel this is a big job done getting these borders done for sure. I mean, we've been at it for a while here. Yeah, so this is going to be great. So this is what I have left. Just these 4 little buggers here. So we'll have to sew those together in something. Let's set those aside. And here's our 4. Got our little chain piece deal together. So yeah, I think we will we'll work on this tomorrow then. So all we need to do now is, so we have like 4 groups of 11, right? So tomorrow we'll sew all these groups together, you know, to continue our giant diagonal basically. We'll just keep going and sew these 4 groups together. So we'll have our group of 44 and then we stick our little end on and we will have our 3rd border done. Well, we have to press it and all that as well. But then I think we'll probably still have enough time to go back and work on some of the blocks yet. So that would be pretty awesome. I'd love to work on more of the blocks. Ooh, we could kind of even peek to see what the blocks would look like with the borders. That'll be fun. All right, that'll be great. We'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll get this whole border done. We got all our little pieces tonight. But they're turning out so pretty. I'm excited. Like I said, I haven't done a really intricate border like this before. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is intricate. I would call this intricate. I'm sure quilt pros out there will be like, that's not intricate, that's way easy. But for me, it's the most intricate border I've ever done. We'll be doing some special little machine stitching on it too as well for the quilting, I think, and I haven't done that either, like specialty quilting for the border, so I'm really kind of excited for it. I know it's a lot of little extra just for a border, but I think it really is going to add a nice little touch to this quilt. And I'm kind of glad we did it and now we're going back to the quilt, because if I would have finished all the blocks of the quilt and finished the whole front, and then it was like, ugh, I have to do a decorative border still, I think I'd feel like I just want to get it done. So I'm glad we kind of jumped ahead and did this versus waiting to do it later. So I'm like in the process here. So thanks for wanting to know how to do it. So I was able to jump ahead. But great. So tomorrow we'll finish up this border. We'll start another block then too. I think I have 8 or 9 left and we can count them up. We'll find out. So thanks again, guys. Be sure to check out the embroidery of the month over at penguinandfish.com. I'm really excited to stitch this one up too. Look, all the cute little baby machines. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fabulous evening. Good night.